Olympus Energy's Poseidon Pad is located in Erwin, Pennsylvania, and there are actually 3 checkpoints that support the Poseidon Pad. The bonded route for well traffic cuts through the Valley landfill. So whenever any well traffic travels to Poseidon Pad, they first turn into the Valley landfill, and when they're coming up the hill to the scale house, you'll see a gravel lane to the right of the scale house. There's a very small sign. So if you see any well traffic that goes over the scales, please remind them that they should not be riding over the scales. They should take the right lane that was created for well traffic. That lane stops and checks for traffic coming through the scale house. The scale house has the right of way. So Waste Management Checkpoint 1, our MCU is located just beyond the entrance of the scale house. You're going to get truck number, company name, communicate over the CB and get the driver's name, and then they're going to proceed straight through the landfill. When you're working Checkpoint 1, as soon as you check someone in, call Checkpoint 2 and let them know you have truck number 10 from wherever. They're headed your way. Checkpoint 2 is located just before the back gate of the landfill. So Checkpoint 2 should be outside waiting for that truck to then check them out of the landfill when they arrive to Checkpoint 2. Once the truck leaves the landfill through the back gate past Checkpoint 2, they turn left and they travel approximately a mile, maybe a little less, and they'll get to the Poseidon Pad, which is off of the waste management premises. At that time, whenever there's 24/7 operations at Poseidon, there will be a third MCU at Poseidon Pad, and then we will check in the traffic at Poseidon Pad as we normally do. So we're checking in at Waste Management Checkpoint 1, out at Waste Management Checkpoint 2, and when we have 24-hour ops, they're in and out from Poseidon Pad. When they leave the Poseidon Pad, they're going to get checked out of Poseidon Pad when it's 24 hours. They're going to come back, so they're going to be coming back to the back of the waste management facility. They're turning right into the back gate, and now Checkpoint 2 is checking them into the waste management facility. Then they're going to travel back to the front of the facility. Waste Management Checkpoint 2 will alert Checkpoint 1 there's a truck coming and they need to be prepared, because they're not going to stop. That truck's not going to stop. They need to be outside, ready to go, get the truck number and the time, because they're going to exit through the gravel parking lot to the right. As you're facing the scale house from the inside of the waste management facility, there's a small gravel parking lot to the right. All the traffic's going to exit from that way. So you're going to need to be prepared to get that truck number and the time and speak to them over the CB, and then they will be checked out of the waste management facility. If well traffic exits through the gravel lane that was created as you enter the scale house, traffic's going to oppose one another. That would be a serious safety hazard. I actually saw a pickup truck that went out that lane when Fong and I were setting up the MCUs on Friday. And I let Donnie Morocco know, because that's an absolute safety hazard, because when trucks are going to be using that lane, there isn't a lot of room. There's just enough room for that one vehicle to get in. And if there's traffic coming out, they're going to have an accident. So we need to make sure that we're keeping an eye out for those safety issues. Anybody that's going to be working Waste Management Checkpoint 1 or 2, you're going to be registered for online safety class through Waste Management. We had to do that when we worked here in 2017, and this is still a requirement. Just to let you know, this was our first Pennsylvania job ever in 2017. To that point, we'd only ever worked in West Virginia. I ran into the waste management facility, the Valley Landfill operations manager, on Friday. He remembered me immediately. He remembered that we did a great job in 2017, 2018, and he had specifically asked for us to come back. Olympus had been wanting to cut some costs, and they were using traffic control for the first couple weeks, and the waste management facility was very unhappy. So we are going to go back there, and we're going to do just as good or better of a job as we did in 2017. We weren't even a year old when we worked there that time, and we have progressed, and we have evolved, and we've gotten more team members, more policies in place. I know that our team can do a great job. We're absolutely going to do a great job. That requires staying and paying attention to what you're doing. You have to, at any job site that you're working, but specifically here, there's also its own safety hazards, because checkpoint 1, you're very close to the entrance of the scale house, and there's going to be a lot of oversized traffic coming and going. You need to watch for your surroundings when you step out of the MCU, and absolutely wear your safety vest. I'll post a few notes. Please read in the GroupMe. Please read the operation order. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to post in GroupMe, and I'll be having a call tomorrow morning with the waste management operations manager and the construction manager for Olympus, so I will have a few more updates to share tomorrow after that call. Please be safe.